guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Grace. Make sure to definitely subscribe down below. So for today's video, I'm doing an updated how I edit my Instagram photos, that type of deal. You guys have been asking me to film one of these for a while now, so I figured I would do it today for today's video. So I'm just going to be showing you guys how I edit my Instagram and everything like that. So if you aren't following me on my Instagram, definitely go follow me over there. I really want to hit 10,000 Instagram followers, so that'd be cool if you followed me and just kind of show you guys so you can get an idea of like how I edit and stuff. Also, if anyone's wondering, my case is from Shein. So this is what my Instagram kind of like looks like. I try to make it have a theme, but I'm also not like super strict like that where it has to be only white backgrounds or it has to be like only a certain color, you know. But I think my Instagram feed's kind of like pinks, whites, and blues for the most part. You just like see a lot of those. I'm gonna show you guys what I do when I'm editing a photo, go into the details of how I edit it, because editing can either be super quick or it can take a little bit longer, like not too long, but it just can take a little bit of time, because I also don't like my photos to look edited like too much. Like I don't really care about the filters, but like I don't want my skin to look weird or like overly smoothed or whatever like that. So like this is a good example. I didn't edit my face, I don't think, on this one. This one I had to like blur out somebody in the background just because I did it for like privacy reasons. I didn't want them to be shown. These ones I just made like the colors pop, and I think I smoothed my skin a little bit, but not too much. You know when there's photos you see on Instagram and people's teeth are like overly white or their like skin is overly smooth and you're just like, that looks so fake. I just don't want my photos to look like that. I'm just going to show you guys how I do that. And so obviously you need to come up with how you want your Instagram feed to be. So if you want like a super white theme or like super colorful theme, like super pastels, bright colors, whatever you're going for, pink theme. My theme is kind of based off like Aspen Ovard. I said this in my first how I edit my photos, but that's kind of where I like pull from, but then I like change it. So let me show you guys Aspen's account real quick. Okay, so here's Aspen Ovard's Instagram account. As you can see, her colors are very pastel and just white and bright and everything like that. So that's kind of like what I was going for when I first started, and it just takes a while honestly to like learn how to properly edit photos and stuff, but you will learn with time and with efforts in doing it. So the first thing I recommend are, these are the 3 apps that I use the most for editing. So I use Lightroom for editing all the colors in my photos. I think that's definitely a necessary app, and it's actually free on your iPhone, so you can get the free version and it gives you like a certain amount of gigabytes that you can have, but I actually pay for the full version. That way when I do photo shoots or something, I can edit on my computer, and I can also have like unlimited space in the app. So that's the first app I definitely recommend. It's way better than like a VSCO or any of those other filtered apps. Lightroom's just the best. The next app I definitely recommend is YouCam Perfect. This is the app I like to use if I have like a little acne spot or something. Like I'm breaking out today on my forehead, you probably can't see. If I have like a breakout or something and I just want to edit it out, that's my favorite app to use for like acne, fixing the skin tones, because sometimes if like, I don't know about you guys, but personally I kind of have like a redder skin tone in my face because of acne treatment I was on. So YouCam Perfect is just kind of my favorite to do like skin tone fixing, because there's a tone corrector. And then the last app that I use is Facetune, and I don't really use Facetune for like the Facetune purposes. I mostly use the whitening tool on it because I like to whiten like backgrounds that are either like beige or just kind of like yellowy to make them more white to match my feed. So I'll use the whitening tool, which obviously you could like use on your teeth, but I use it more so for walls and it works really well. So I'll show you guys how I do that as well. So then the next thing I want to go into is I have presets that I've created myself just by playing around with Lightroom and just learning how to use it. You can create your own presets, which I can show you guys. If you guys want me to come out and sell my presets, I would definitely do that. Just let me know down below if you'd be interested in that. Presets are a thing that are like super tricky. I've looked into it on how to sell them. I'm not like advanced enough to know how to like download the preset file to sell, so it goes into your phone. So I've tried talking to a few people and they said it was a super confusing process as well. So if you guys know anything on that, DM me on Instagram and I will definitely be able to sell them if I can figure out how. Yeah, let's get started. I'm gonna go into Lightroom and pick a photo to edit for you guys. Okay, so going into Lightroom, I have a folder called random where it's just like all my random photos that I take. So I'm going to edit 3 different photos just so you guys can see some different editing processes. When you put a preset on a photo, it's not just going to magically look amazing. You have to adjust things, you have to adjust the settings. Yeah, you guys will see that. It depends on the photo's lighting, if the lighting is super good, if it's over bright, if it's darker. You're just gonna have to adjust things. So when you buy presets, don't think it's just automatically gonna like fix your photo, if that makes sense. So this photo is one I took the other day. This is the raw photo, like you can see. So what I'm gonna do is go over to the presets button, and these are all my presets that I have. So the ones that say GT are for Grace Taylor that I've created myself. So normally I'll go through, I love the Aspen ones, but like you can see those ones are just way too orange. My beachy one is way too orange. Greenery is still very orange. Warm and white is not too bad. And then greens is kind of pretty. So I'm gonna go with that one and then just adjust some of the settings down so it's not as orange. So I'll go into the color setting and I'm gonna go to the mix button up here and click on the oranges, and we're just gonna bring down the saturation to the other side. Something I've learned, if you want to make yourself look more tan and not orange, if you bring down the saturation in Lightroom and bring down the luminance, it's going to give you more of a natural tanned look than an orange look. And then I'll normally go into the reds and bring them down a little bit just to bring some of like the rosiness back into my lips and cheeks so it's not just like orange. And then going to the greens, I like to normally make them kind of like pastel green like this so they're not so bright. So I'll bring down those. I like the blues. I like my blues to pop like this teal color. And then normally I bring down the yellows too. So as you can see, this wall is kind of beige, orange, yellow color. So when I bring down the yellows, it lightens my hair and makes it look more blonde and less orange. And then it also normally helps with any of the like white or beige background. So that's pretty much it for the colors. The light settings all look pretty good. Like obviously I could adjust these if I wanted, but I don't really have a problem with any of these colors. So that's how I did this photo. As you can see, you can just look at the settings, and if you wanted to copy it, normally I will bring up the temperature to the oranger shade, but this photo is already kind of orange toned that I don't want to do it too much, so just added a little bit of that, and that's it for that photo. So I'm gonna save that photo and then we're gonna go into Facetune. This photo doesn't look like I really need any editing on my face. Everything looks good enough to me. So whoops. So I'm gonna go into Facetune, click on this photo and click retouch. And from here, I'm going to click the whitening feature, and I'm just going to start whitening the background wall. And I turn it all the way up so it's the whitest it can be. And we just whiten that. I whiten the cement, literally just everything that could be whiter, I whiten. There you can see the before and the after. It just helps brighten the photo up a little bit and make it just match more with my feed. So then I will save that photo, and that's it for the first photo. So let's go into the next photo I'm gonna edit. This photo, as you can see, it's a little bit darker. It's just taken in my backyard. I've been taking a lot of photos in my backyard just because I haven't been going anywhere because of Corona. So this photo, as you can see, it's just kind of dark, but it's still pretty bright. So I'll normally go through and just click on some of these. Aspen looks pretty good. Beachy's a little too dark. Grace Taylor's kind of dark. Greenery is pretty good on this one. Warm and white is pretty good too. I think I'm gonna go with warm and white on this one because I like how bright it looks, but I want to turn down the exposure just a little bit, so I'm just gonna bring that down barely. I normally try not to turn up the exposure too much, or else it just makes your photos look like overly exposed. So these are the settings I have in place for the light, and all these look pretty good to me. So I'm just going to go into the color setting and again just make myself look a little less orange and more tan by bringing down those orange saturations and luminances. And then the reds are already turned up, so I don't need to do anything with that. The pinks, I'm just gonna turn up just a little bit to make my skirt pop a little bit more. And there's no greenery or anything I need to do for the other colors. The yellows look fine to me, so that's pretty much it for editing that photo. And if I wanted to, I could make the like background on this photo more white and just whiten it in Facetune, but the door and everything looks white enough to me. I don't really feel the need to like make it more white because I think this will already match my feed as it is. And again, my face doesn't really have any big breakouts or anything that are standing out to me, so that'll look pretty good to me. So I'm gonna save that photo to my camera roll. So this next photo is the photo I'm going to be like editing the most in detail, so you guys can see me using YouCam and Facetune and everything. All 3 apps I'll be using on this photo. So as you can see, as far as my face, I do have a breakout on like my cheek, and then I have this water droplet like coming down my face because I was obviously in the pool, so I want to edit that out just because it looks a little weird. And then I just want to make the colors brighter in this photo. I want to make the blues pop, and I want to turn down the greens a little bit. Then the fence, I'm going to want to edit this to make it look more white and less brown. So I'm going to go over to my presets and click through these. These Aspen ones that I have are just a little dark. Beachy looks pretty good with this. I have my presets designed so like the beachy ones will look good with blue colors and stuff. Grace Taylor's kind of dark. Greenery's kind of dull. That one's way too... Warm and white is just a little too bright for me. So I'm going to do beachy on this one. And then we're just going to edit some of these settings. So I'm going to bring the contrast down just a tad. Shadows up because it's a little bit shadowed since I have my hand over my face. And then I'm going to go into the colors and go to the blues and just make them more like teal, blue, turquoise colored. And then I'm gonna go into the greens and make them super bright, but then bring them down like this, just because I want them to be more dull and less like bright green in your face, so you can just kind of see how that looks. Then I'm gonna go into the white settings. My hair's wet, so it's not really gonna like change anything like that, but this does help the background cement and fence color, you can see. So if I just hold down, you can just see that. And then the oranges, again, I'm just gonna bring those down, bring the luminance down a little bit. This one I'm gonna need to smooth my body a little bit because it's getting a little patchy from the editing, just because I think this photo was really dark to begin with. So I'm gonna save this photo, and then I'm going to go into YouCam and go to photo edit. I'm gonna click the photo and then go into beautify, and we're gonna start with acne. So do that, and then it's gonna select your face, select any like breakouts it sees, and then I'm gonna go back in with the manual button and just kind of like spot hit anything that stands out to me that I want to fix. And then I'm gonna edit this water droplet with the acne tool. I actually really like this acne tool as well, because even if it's not like acne, even if it's just something like weird that's in the way, it does help like get rid of it super well. Okay, so we got rid of the water droplet, we got rid of the breakouts, there's the before and afters, and then I'm going to go and show you guys kind of the tone tool that I was talking about earlier, just so you can see. So on this photo, let me turn this down. My face is a little bit more red toned just because obviously I didn't have any makeup on or anything. So what I'll normally do is like there's different tones here, so you can see that one's like way too light. This one's pretty good. That one's making me red again. This one is kind of dark, but if I turn it down a little bit, I can get it to match my body. This one, if I bring it up a little bit, it's still a little light, so. But this one, this darker one looks pretty good. So obviously if it was all the way up, it would look weird, but if I turn it down a little bit, it just helps the redness just a little bit. So I'm going to save that. And then another tool I like to use in this is sometimes if I want to add just a blush back into my cheeks, I'll use this. As you can see, it just adds it back, but I'm not going to do that today. And sometimes if you want to brighten your eyes, this is also a good one, where you can just turn it up and it just makes them a little bit brighter and lighter. And now I'm going to go into Facetune, select the photo. Here it is, and then we're gonna grab the smoothing button just because, again, like I said, I need to smooth those patchy spots. So I'm just gonna go over my body kind of and just smoothen it so it doesn't look so patchy and like edited. So there's the before, there's the after, before, after, and that just definitely helps. And then we're gonna go in with the whitening tool, and I'm gonna whiten the fence because I want it to just look more white, and we're gonna turn it all the way up. And you always gotta get in those little like cracks and stuff. Also, sometimes the whitening can like look weird if you get it on your body, so try not to do that. And then sometimes I'll take this like on the cement too, but this cement's already pretty white. It doesn't really need any adjusting. But like over here, I could whiten it a little bit more. So here's the before and here's the after. You can just see it made it way, way brighter. And those are pretty much the only two little tools I would use on Facetune. So my body is more smooth and the background is just whiter, and we'll save it. The app I like to use when I'm planning out my Instagram feed. So I already have those 3 photos actually posted on my Instagram, but I like to use this app called Preview, and it just looks like this for planning my Instagram, so I can just lay them out in your feed. Now obviously these 2 photos are already up, so this just kind of looks weird, but you can just like play around, you can move them around, and then when you upload new photos, it puts the new photos into the app. So that's just a really cool way to see if a picture is going to match your feed or not. But that is pretty much everything I do for editing my Instagram photos. I hope this helped you guys out. I hope you got some tips from this. If you have any other questions, feel free to comment them down below or DM me on my Instagram, and I can try my best to help you guys out. And if you want me to sell my presets, I'm working on them. I'm trying to make them really good, but like I said, it differs for each photo on how they're gonna look in the end. But yeah, if you guys want me to sell them and you know anything about how to sell them, or like how to get the preset file uploaded to the websites. I know there's a bunch of websites you can sell them on. I just don't know how to like get the file out of Lightroom, if that makes sense. So yeah, if you guys know any information on that, DM me on Instagram so I can sell them for you guys, and they would be really cheap. Yeah, if you guys want that, just let me know. If you are new, make sure you don't forget to subscribe down below. I post on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.